You know that feeling when you're on cloud nine? They use that idiom when feeling that happiness and delight, but I always see it in a different perspective. Being in cloud nine might be the best feeling, but the part that no one talks about is that it is scary, because you're way too high, you're afraid of falling. Mommy, I miss you. I smiled sadly as I heard my son's voice. Mommy misses you more. Do you always think of me, Mommy? Never did I forget about you, ACL. Well, I'll wait for you, Mommy. Mommy will be home soon. He fell asleep while I told him stories on the other line. Those moments are the ones that give me strength. I'll do this, I said to the other servant. She didn't say anything and just walked away from me. I watch her do that. I understand her. She's probably scared to have any connection with me, afraid that Ace might do something to them again. That's better. I can bear their coldness rather than putting them at risk again. I busied myself from the sunken kitchen where most of the servants worked. This is just below the hall. I'm all alone, since the others don't like getting near me. I hummed a song while doing my duties. The rest of the world is black and white. I suddenly felt shivers. My hair is standing up, maybe because of the sudden wind. I just ignored it and continued. But seconds later, I felt it again. I turned my head and saw no one. I turned to my right again and almost cursed a word seeing Ace leaning on the sink just a few inches away from me. God, I held my chest, sounding exasperated. Since when did you get here? He raised a brow. You must have known that. My forehead furrowed. He leaned to my ear and whispered something. You should have felt that. He smirked and crossed his arms on his chest. I just rolled my eyes and continued that thing I'm doing. You should not be here. The servants are scared of you. I heard him hissed. I glanced at him. I hid my smile seeing him looking so salty now. They should be. I laughed. You're unbelievable. They are humans. Of course they'll be scared of you. And you're not? I pursed my lips. I pretended that I didn't hear him. He chuckled while watching me. I bit my lower lip so that I'll be able to suppress my smile. You actually think of them as humans? I glanced at him again. Why? They haven't shown their fangs to you yet? He grinned. Huh? My voice cracked. You know that the castle doesn't allow any outsiders. Why would the castle hire a human when secrets should be kept inside the castle? My eyes widened a bit, seconds after when I realized what he just told me. They're werewolves? My voice raised a bit. He chuckled. What more could they be? My movement became slow because of thinking. Gladly, I'm almost finished. I didn't speak for a few seconds. He waited for me to be done, then I finally faced him. So I'm the only human here? I asked. His jaw moved and cocked his head. If that's what you think. I pouted and sat on the chair in front of him. This is really far from my cognitive capability. The last time I remember, I was just a normal teen working in the bar, but not until I met him. Sometimes I think I was just dreaming. So why are you here? I changed the subject before I could do some slip of the tongue. His bored eyes played with his lips. I'm bored. I narrowed my eyes on him. You're bored? I confirmed. He nodded like a kid. I sighed heavily. Don't you have anyone to talk to? Or do werewolves have anything to play with? Like board games or what? Because hello? I'm sure I don't look like a toy to you, right? He just stared at me with a blank expression. He didn't even react. I rolled my eyes and stood up. I'll go now. I need to do some of my chores. I turned my back on him. Hey, wait. I look at him with bored eyes. What now? He smirked and held my wrist. Come. My eyes widened when he dragged me out of the place. I tried to resist, but he's too strong for me. He won't let go of my hand and won't listen to me. When we reached the vicinity of the castle, I tried to resist more. Where the hell are we going? Miss Gloria will punish me. I'm the alpha of this clan, Ashina. What more are you concerned for? He conceitedly said. I rolled my eyes in return. Soon, I got tired. I didn't speak any words because he was just literally dragging me somewhere. One time, he glanced at me. Maybe he's curious why I'm silent. Why can't we just use your car? I asked, bored. He just smirked and continued walking. Later on, I saw an uphill trail. My first reaction is, of course, to be annoyed. We've been walking for like 30 minutes, Ace. Don't tell me we need to walk uphill. It's because you're slow. We could have arrived there if it wasn't for you. He let go of my hand and faced me. Unlike me, he doesn't even look tired. I'm like literally panting. My knees weakened and sat on the grass. That's it, I motioned my hand, slicing my neck. I'm tired. Leave me here. He chuckled. He bent and neared his face into mine. I moved backward. Okay then, let's go, he grinned. I yelled when he suddenly lifted me like a sack of rice and put me into his shoulders. Put me down, I yelled. Nah, him. Then suddenly, like a mirage, we arrived at the top of the hill. He put me down carefully while I'm still dizzy and shocked. What did you just do? I said in horror. Magic? He joked and laughed as he sat down under the single oak tree there. I bit my lip watching him. So what would I tell my son if he looked for his dad? I'll say that his dad accelerates and heals? Damn it! You go here often? I asked while seated at the slant field. I used to come here when I was a child, when I wanted to run away, he said. The strong wind blew the tall grasses from afar. I can see the castle from here. This place is a high rise. It's like a hill where you can see the other places clearly. Why would you run away? I asked him. Because it's suffocating. I fell silent. I watched him while he's seriously eyeing the castle from afar. Why here? Because they don't know about this place. They won't expect that I'm here. Other packs seldom pass by here. I just listened to him. I remember I used to chase some dogs here, running for their lives, he chuckled. I squint my eyes. You're not bringing this up again, Ace, he smirked. Pitiful dogs. Aren't you one? I grinned. He glared at me. I pursed my lips to stop my smile. He went back to his position. I stopped coming here when I'm finally allowed to wander in the city. Who allowed you? He didn't answer me. Your parents? He nodded lightly. Where are they? Strong wind passed by again. He laid down and made his hands a pillow. He shut his eyes calmly. I'm just there, sitting, watching him silently, admiring his beauty. Image of him in the forest flashed in my mind all of a sudden. I don't know when I will be able to see him that way again. Dead, huh? They're gone, he uttered. I gasped. I'm sorry. I touched my lip. I shouldn't have asked. He didn't speak. We were just silent for a short period of time. I was just thinking of other questions inside my head. They died in an accident. I turned to him again. His eyes are still shut and still in the same position. That's all I know. I suppose they were the leader before they died? I said, unsure. Yes. At least you got to experience the feeling of having one, I said. He turned his head in my direction. You have your foster parents. Yeah, but I bet having a real one is different, I uttered. But anyways, it's not that I'm asking for it. I'm content having the Hartz. I again looked at the landscape. The sky is a mixture of yellow and orange because the sun is almost setting. Are you perhaps a 1,000-year-old wolf? I asked hesitantly. He bombarded with laughter while still at his position. What? He laughed. Isn't it like that? Tut, what am I, a vampire? He's still suppressing his laugh. I don't know. I know nothing about wolves, obviously. I rolled my eyes. As far as I can remember, I've been here for 24 years now, he said. My lips parted. He's young. You became an alpha for such a young age? I can't hide my amusement. I bit my lip and thought of something. Isn't it hard? I don't know, he shrugged. It must have been. I don't see it that way, he simply said. Silence enveloped us for some seconds after he finally spoke up. I hate leading my pack, to be honest. They are a bunch of assholes and hypocrites, he started. But that's what my instinct is telling me. It's to protect and lead them at all cost. My eyes focused on him more. It's like the surroundings just shut down and we're the only one that's left. That's how my parents told me almost every day of my life. I got so tired by it that I can still hear it today, he said with a faint voice. I regret it. I regret telling him that he's prideful because of his title. I didn't know that this is what it cost him. I sighed heavily. What more can I say to that? Like as if I know anything about them. I think we should go back, I suggested. I think Miss Gloria might be looking for me, I said. He didn't say anything, so I turned my head in his direction. He's still in that position. It's like he's almost sleeping. I watched him with a slight smile on my face. He resembles Ace, no doubt. He really got almost all his features. It's like I'm seeing my son when I look at him. The hissing of the tree and the blow of the wind was the only that can be heard. I rested my chin on my hand while watching him. A single leaf is slowly falling into his face, but he catched it without opening his eyes. I flinched. Don't you think you're gawking at me too much? He uttered. That's when my eyes widened. I didn't have the time to deny it. 'cause he opened his eyes and looked at me with a crack of a smile on his face. I gotta go. That's all, and I stood and left him. I heard him laughing. Bye. I shut my eyes tight and cursed myself, holding the massive maid dress of mine while walking the grassy trail of the field. He must have thought of something with that scene. Aren't you too slow? What the? I held my chest because of the shock. He's beside me now. Damn this man-wolf. Why does he keep on shocking me with his magical shits? I glared at him while he passed by me. I watch his confident back walking away from me. Both of his hands are in his pocket. The wind is blowing his cape-like coat. The sun is slowly fading, causing the shadows to appear. Something in my stomach crumpled seeing him that way. I know I judge him from the very start and almost like forever, but this time I can't help but to feel guilty. It's like seeing a different side of him. Just like how the sun rises to start the day and sets, then soon darkness will appear. He might have not said it indirectly, but I felt his sadness, the way his eyes shine differently. I'm grateful for him because he showed me this side of him. He's already a meter away from me when he turned to me again. His hair is being blown by the wind. His eyes are in a perfect almond shape. The sun showed the perfect carve of his jaw. He's completely looking like a character straight from a book. He offered his hand, maybe calling me. I fixed my hair as I looked at his hand. Slowly I put my hands on his. A crack of a smile showed in his face as we both walked the trail as darkness slowly wrapped the scenery. I know now. I pinpointed it out while holding his warm hands. Whenever I'm with him, life might be dark. But that's fine, 'cause I don't prefer it in colors. That escapades went on for almost every day. And today he did the same. He would take me to that place, or if not there, to some unfamiliar place which he introduces to me. We went back this afternoon. Gladly, Miss Gloria didn't dare to say anything when she saw us walking through the back gate of the castle. That time, Ace didn't dare to let go of my hands, even though I kept on insisting. So when we bumped into Miss Gloria, she seemed a bit stunned at what she saw, but she just smiled and passed by. Reaching the entrance of the hallway, I turned to the right alley, but before I could even walk away, he grabbed me. Where are you going? My mouth parted to say words, but I couldn't seem to find my words. 'Cause damn, this is a goddamn basic situation. Why do I need to explain things to him? Ace, people might see us, I insisted. He just portrayed his usual scowling face. Didn't even said anything. I just rolled my eyes. You know what? Never mind, I'll go now. I still have a lot of chores to do. I failed to escape him again. I sighed and rolled my eyes again. He glided his tongue on the insides of his cheek while watching me have an attitude. Do that one more time and you'll see, he taunted me. See what? I raised a brow. A ghost of a smile appeared on his lips. What can I do to scare you, huh? I pouted and dabbed my index finger to his nose. He breathed through his nose and shook his head like a dog, not liking that move. I giggled, and that giggled soon became laughter. He's so funny. Seeing his face becoming so salty as my laughter grew is just so funny. You're so funny. I stopped. I heard steps echoing and some tiny voices that's inaudible. What now? Shh, I shushed him. He cursed and hissed. I'll go now. There's someone. I turned to the left alley, but his arms encapsulated my shoulders, and in one swift move, he dragged me to the right alley and pinned me against the wall. My eyes widened. Wrong way, he said. While our eyes are just nailed with each other, I heard the footsteps slowly getting louder as it reached our direction. Voices of men are becoming more audible too. They might. Shit! My eyes went oh when he brushed his lips into mine. It's so quick but shocking. An arrogant and proud crack of a smile appeared plastered on his face after he just did that. Wrong move? I said, because I'm hearing the voices coming out from the right alley. Best move. He smirked and shifted in his place, removing his body on me. I think that's the only time I breathed properly. I didn't have the time to whine and go berserk, because as soon as he did that, a group of men came out from the right alley. Damn, he did it on purpose. Alpha Ace, they greeted. I cleared my throat while they were so busy greeting him. What brings you here? Ace asked. I saw how their curious eyes bore into me before one of those men answered him. We visited to report some matter regarding the pack from the east. All right, wait for me at the study. He responded seriously. He sounds so serious. different from the playful and mischievous Ace that I'm with just a while ago. I pursed my lips when they all slowly left the scene. "Bye," I even whispered. I can sense Ace eyeing me, and I'm not mistaken. I saw him smirking while we're both watching those men leave. And when they vanished to our eyes, he did the most shocking thing again. I whimpered when I felt my back banged on the cold concrete walls. He ambushed my lips with a hungry vigor. I moaned uncontrollably because of his tongue that succeeded in seeking entrance. The taste of his mouth is so familiar. The same scent, the same movement with the only man who I ever kissed. My arms unconsciously circled to his neck because of the intense situation. One bit on my lip and I let out another moan. "Ace," I moaned, his name feeling the tip of his fingers under my breast. My peaks are hardening because of the heat he had provided. I thought that kiss wouldn't end, but it did anyway. The first thing that I saw was his red lips. He wet it once, finishing every bit of fluid in his lips. I bit my lip seeing him do that. "Why did you do that?" My voice couldn't be more feminine. I almost didn't recognize my own voice. "I'm owning you, because from now on you're my possession. I own you, you're mine. Owning me, owning you, you're mine." I groaned after minutes of repeating those words, bringing the basket of mattress sheets that's been washed this morning. I can't organize my thoughts because of the incident this afternoon. Ace kissed me. Ace said, "He owns me." He kissed me. He owns me. Ugh! Why the hell did he say that? What does he mean by that? I talked to myself. I reached the last white bed sheet, and to my surprise, a woman appeared right in front of my face. "What the?" I stopped myself from cursing. "Olva," I uttered under my breath. Her dark complexion is her signature. Her perfectly big curls are still untouchable, and her flaring red lipstick is still on point. She smiled, and her perfect set of white teeth showed up. I don't know why I'm suddenly so fidgety in front of her. "Yes, I am Olva," she uttered. I pursed my lips and didn't say any words. "I heard you." My heart boomed. She heard me? What part? She seemed so calm as he walked beside me, circling on my position, a move that seemed to be checking me out. For some reason, bitterness struck me wholly. My lips in a flat line. My brows are rising. "Ace kissed you?" she asked, but her tone says otherwise. It's like she's not asking, but she's trying to test if she heard it right, and I still have a choice to choose the right answer for her. "He owned you?" The same tone. Her footsteps stopped in front of me again. She's taller than me, but I didn't let that taunt me. I leveled his eyes and fought back her mocking eyes. "You seem new. You didn't know?" "Didn't know what?" I asked. "You're a maid." "As if I'm not aware," I want to say. "That just goes to say that he wants you to be his personal lady." I blinked. "Personal lady?" She cocked her head and nodded. "Personal lady? Like a personal maid, just like how you are now." "Personal maid?" I echoed her words. "Yes. Why? Did you actually assume that he wants you for himself? A maid like you for an alpha like him? You're dreaming." She smirked. My heart ached hearing those words from her. That's just a normal move for an alpha like Ace. And how will he even want you, huh? Are you the future Luna? She mocked. I gulped and shook my head. She chuckled and crossed her arms to her chest. "Great, 'cause the future Luna's in front of you." My pupils shook because of mixed emotion. The wind blew, and thank goodness, because I had an alibi why my eyes are welling up again. I look at my things that I just packed. I can't help but remember the reason for my sudden loading of stuff. Just this morning, I woke up because of the commotion I'm hearing. Silent whispers, voices that's trying to not be heard. I slowly opened my eyes and saw an image of a man standing beside my bed. The moment I opened my eyes, confusion struck me. A man? The servants' chamber is full of women. How can a man possibly be here? I adjusted my sight and my mind stopped functioning when I saw Ace's face. Looking so fresh in the morning, wearing his dark pair of clothing, I quickly sat on the bed and noticed that the other servants were watching us. What the hell? I palmed my face for any particles that's in there. For goodness sake, I just woke up. Is he watching me all this time? He chuckled. "What are you doing here?" I whispered and side-eyed the fellow servants. He turns his head and the servants are quick to avoid getting caught. He turned to me again and raised his brow. "Good morning, Ashina," he said, almost not having any emotion. I raised a brow. "Good morning." That exchange of good morning seems to have a different meaning. It's like him saying that it's too rude for me to not greet my master and me asking what the fuck is wrong with him. He smirked. I'm surprised I didn't see you early in the morning after what happened yesterday. I got more confused. All right? He eyed me with his bored eyes. All right? He echoed my words. So what happened yesterday? Didn't I told you, and even kiss? I palmed his mouth, stopping him from whatever it is that he has to say. I cursed while holding his mouth shut. I saw how the other servants got so shocked by what I just did to their master. Shut up, I gritted my teeth. He rolled his eyes handsomely and held my wrist to remove my hand on his mouth. Pack your things, don't make me wait for long. That's it, and he turned his back on me, walking away. My mouth dropped. What just happened? Oh my gosh, I can't believe he came here. Alpha coming into the servants' room? What's the matter with them? I heard them whisper. My spacing stopped when I saw Miss Gloria entering our chamber. The servants, including me, stood straight because we were scared to be scolded. She went straight into my direction. You've heard Alpha. Pack your things and he'll be waiting in his room. Wait, Miss Gloria, but what's for what? She narrowed her eyes on me like she couldn't believe I didn't know the reason. For sure, he wants you to be her personal lady. If you're doubtful, you can ask him yourself, she just said and left. I shook my head, remembering what happened this morning. I sighed heavily as I connected all the dots, from yesterday and up to now. Olva is right. He wants me to be his personal maid, personal servant. Why does he have to kiss me that way? It only reminded me about what happened years ago. Not that Asiel is not enough reminder for us. It's just that I hate to admit it, feelings do fade, but I don't know if it will come back. Asiel baby, I called my son before leaving the servants' chamber. It's because I feel confused, and his voice is the only solution for this. Mommy, I counted 10 days and you're still not here. My heart ached. From our last call, I promised him that if he counts 10 more days, I'll be home. I didn't find the time to ask Ace about my leave because the past few days had been a bit busy for him, for the both of us. Are you sure you counted right, baby? I tried to trick him. Yes, Mommy. Grandma taught me, he innocently said. My eyes watered in awe. I miss my son very much. But it's so hard for me to have my own decisions as of the moment. I'm still in the process of syncing these events inside my head. I'm not yet ready to do anything knowing that the father of my child is a man-wolf, worst, and alpha. I'll be calling you whenever Mommy has the time, all right? That call didn't last long before I bid my goodbye to him. And just like what Ace had commanded, I brought my things into his room. I passed by the chambers while walking through the dark corridor. From afar, I'm already seeing the 2 torches burning at the end of the hallway, which is Ace's room. I hummed a song to myself while walking, but my steps halted when I heard voices. Out of curiosity, I lean to the direction where I'm hearing the voices. And as I get nearer, the voices become more audible. I eyed the chamber and found out that it's Ace's study. My mouth parted. The adjacent 2 doors of the chamber are slightly open, so I had a chance to peek through it. Holding the boxes of my stuff, I near my eyes on the door to hear what they're talking about. I oppose that idea. No one's asking for your idea, Lucas. My curiosity grew when I sensed the tension between them. Ace, I'm trying to suggest things that are better as of the moment. I'm not asking for your suggestion. Ace coldly uttered. I heard Lucas hissed. I peek again and saw that Lucas is standing in front of the table while Ace is seated on his seat as usual. Ace. Alpha, said Ace. They both went silent. I peeked and saw only Lucas's tensed back and Ace's half body. The moment Olva gets to know about that, their pack will raise a revolution. You know what's the union that's binding their pack and ours? Lucas is sounding so frustrated. Olva? Union? And that's the 2 of you. Shut the fuck up. Ace cut him in a monotone voice. I pursed my lips, having an idea what they talking about. Yeah, shit, I won't shut my mouth about this because you're being too impulsive again. And who are you to say that? Who are you to oppose my decisions? Huh? Who the fuck are you? I am nothing. I'm just a no one. Lucas's tone dripped with coldness and bitterness. They both went silent after that. It seems like I'm in the middle of them just by hearing them both talk to each other. What more if I'm inside? Go ahead and look down on me. I don't give a damn fuck, but Ace, he stopped a bit. Alpha, or whatever the fuck you are, I'm not going to side on that decision of yours. Your job is to protect the pack. Don't try to put them at risk just because of that woman. I said, shut up. My eyes widened at how loud Ace's voice was. You're making her sleep in your room. You think Olva will stay sane once she finds out? I was tongue-tied. My brain stopped functioning after hearing what he just said. And who the hell cares about her sanity? She can go berserk. Hell, I would care. No one cares about her, but you should be caring about our pack. The pack that's entrusted to you. That pack that your parents have left you. My knees weakened. I touched my lips so no sound would escape. At first, you let her work here. What are the odds you tried to do with her just so she'll end up working here, right? You told me that you just want to have revenge with her, that you just want to play with that human, and now you're trying to risk everything for her? If I were you, I would shut my mouth at this very point. My eyes watered. What? He what? Oh no, I won't, because I don't care if she'll know. Ashina won't be here if it wasn't for your mischief and selfishness. So don't tell me to stop lecturing you, because the last time I did, things get this fucked up. My limbs weakened and the things on my hand fell on the cold concrete floor. The box pushed the door, leaving for them to see me. I saw how shocked Lucas was seeing me standing there, while Ace's face is full of horror and anger. My tears fell on my cheeks as I looked him straight in the eyes. You... what? My voice cracked. Ashina, Ace's tensed voice called me. Tears welled up in my eyes, and with blurry eyes I stepped inside. Lucas's face was embedded with mixed shock and exasperation. I can't seem to process what I just heard. Selfishness, risks, work. Those words rang inside my head like a bell. I needed more. It seems like trying to say you've known a person even though that person is a complete stranger. What did you say, Lucas? I asked. Ace stood up. I know he's coming into my direction, so before he could even do that, I stopped him. Don't come near me. I gritted my teeth. His steps halted when I said that. I can see how his eyes glitched in fear as soon as he stared at me. Mad. Furiously mad. That's what I'm feeling as of the moment. Is that true, Lucas? All of it? I confirmed, even though I clearly know what's the truth. It's just that there's a part of me that's in denial. A part of me that's hoping that it's all not true, that I didn't hear him right. Answer me, Lucas, I almost pleaded. His bloodshot eyes bore into me, and he clenched his jaw. I saw how Ace's expression changed as soon as he glared at Lucas. He's almost ready to show his fangs because of too much anger. So it's true? No words needed. His silence means yes for me. I bit my lips as the well of tears burst like a bubble and fell onto my cheeks endlessly. My knees are weakening thinking about what happened this past few days between us two. I treasured it so much that this news is hurting me like daggers. You played with me, like I'm sort of a toy that can stand for your entertainment. The disagreement in Ace's eyes became vivid. No. Yes, don't try and deny it to me. I heard it all. I pointed at him. I gasped for breath because of the pain that I'm suppressing inside. Memories of me looking for work flashed in my mind like a movie. That's the reason why no restaurant would ever hire me that day, I said to myself. The managers, the paper. I looked at Lucas. And you? My knees dropped to the floor. I didn't mind that pain that I felt. I palmed my face and the tiny unstoppable sobs went out freely. Ashina, Ace's voice soothed me, but his intention failed. D. Don't touch me. I probably looked like a mess, but that didn't stop me from shouting at his face. Fear and regret. That's what his face is screaming. And I hate that just by that, I've just confirmed more that all of it is really true. You're evil, ruthless, pathetic jerk, I yelled at him. He kept on touching my elbows and my hand, but all I did was to shrug off all of his attempts and hurt him. You are so cruel, my voice cracked as I tried hard to stop my sobs. We have a son, I almost want to say, because that's the reason why I am hurt. I did everything and even left our son just to have this work, even though I know Aciel will despise me for not being on his side. But here's his father, doing everything just to make his mother suffer. You're cruel, I repeated with a faint voice. I got so weak that he had the chance to embrace me and stop my arms from hurting him. He embraced me so tight while I'm devastatingly slopped on the floor. What more did you do? What more do I need to know? With puffy eyes, I looked into his face. The perfect resemblance of his face and my son's didn't help me at all. He clenched his jaw and sighed, a sign that he's having second thoughts of answering that question. I told your former boss to fire you. I think my whole world just crumbled down. I shook my head, convincing myself that this must be a dream. This must be a daydream. Ashina, please hear me out. I didn't say any words. I stood harshly and pulled all the strength left in me. His begging eyes tried to lure me, but all I felt was anger. You disgusting man of a wolf, I said, and glared at Lucas as well before I could exit. Ashina! I picked up my things that were scattered on the floor. I didn't even get to pick it all up. I hurriedly ran through the hallways, not minding his calls. Ashina, hear me out. With blurry eyes I ran, but I'm just fooling myself because in seconds I saw him in front of me. I hate that he has all the advantages in this world while I just want to run away. I don't need to hear your explanations. You fooled me. He shook his head. No, yes, but see? I laughed without any humor. I kept on walking, but he kept on following me. I saw Miss Gloria, who's about to greet this asshole, but stopped when she saw the situation. Ashina, I know I'm at fault, but please, I just need you to hear me out. I pretend to not hear him. I ran down the concrete stairs, even though my things were falling piece by piece. Ashina, he touched my elbow, but I shrugged it harshly. That's all we did until the sun hit our faces because we already reached the outside. When we were passing by the massive garden, that's when he blocked my way. Stop, he said with a serious face. I chuckled without any humor. The nerve of this man. Who are you to command me, huh? I spat bitterly. You're still the one who has the guts to act inferior, when in fact you're the one who ruined my life here, I shouted. He ran his fingers through his hair, looking so frustrated. Fuck yes. I admit, I'm the reason for this all. Your job sufferings and all the reasons why you're here in front of me. I breathed harshly while listening to him. It hurts more now that it's coming from him. I hated you at the very beginning, Ashina. I hated you years ago for always throwing yourself to me every encounter that we had. You annoy me not just because I knew you're a human, but because I thought you wanted to be a Luna. My forehead made a crease. I liked you, but never did I think about that. Don't act as if I'm the only one who's at fault here. He shut his eyes and touched my elbows. Yes, I know, I understand now. Forgive me, I'm senseless then and now, and that's why I ordered Lucas to do things for me so I can get revenge on you. You took the thing that's left in me. And that's for me, deciding whom I'm going to give that night. I choked with my own words when I heard him. You have to understand where I'm coming from, though I admit I was wrong, and I'm still wrong for not telling you, but now, it's not about that anymore, he said with so much sincerity. He reached my hands and brought it up to his lips. I watched him with tears falling on my cheeks. For the short period of time you're here, I thought of things I could do to hurt you. But all of it vanished when I got to know you more. I realized that night, it's not something I should despise. Because I want to choose you, Ashina, he said with his bloodshot eyes. My mind turned black from all his confessions. I think I heard him wrong. Be my Luna, Ashina, he said. If that was just me, I'm considering I would have said yes. But you guess it right. With all courage left in me, I shook my head slowly. I felt his hand slowly loosening its pressure while holding me, like he turned weak by my answer. I'm sorry, I said and left him. That evening I went home to my foster parents and my son, and that night I heard this specific howl. I couldn't sleep that night, hearing that howling until the break of dawn. I cried the whole night. I slept a wink. I got a headache from crying too much and getting little sleep. That night, it seems like that howling cried with me. That noise didn't put me to sleep either. My family was shocked when I came home. I am carrying my belongings. I feel like they want to ask for an explanation, but I'm not open to doing any explaining. I kissed my son, feeling so much longing when I came home. He's asking why I'm crying. I just said that I missed him as an excuse, and those tears were tears of joy. We slept side by side, and I had a hard time because of that. Every time I see him, I feel like I'm seeing his father too. I'm in a mix of emotions. But above it all, fear is weighing more. I feel so scared hearing the reality from him. While I'm sacrificing and having to experience hardships just to provide for our son, he's currently hiding all the truth from me? He's scary, and his feelings for me couldn't top that. I'm scared, not because of what he really is, but because of the welfare of our son. Aciel is only 4 years old, and me as an adult had a peek through their lives. I saw how scary it would be for my son. I want him to grow in a normal place, in a normal state. Not that way. I'm afraid that one day I won't be able to have the chance to be with my son. I'm afraid that even his father would do something bad to him. I can see it in him. He's not sure what to do with his life. I can see he still has a lot of questions and confusion in his mind. So if I say we have a baby, I think it's the biggest thing she's not going to be ready for. I'm sorry, Aciel. I want to tell you too, but I'm afraid to lose you. I whispered to my son when I woke up. He's still sleeping soundly. It's so good to be back here and be with him. He's my strength. It's like after all those hard weeks, I'm finally back into my sanctuary. Mommy, you're not leaving me again? Aciel asked when we were eating our breakfast. My stepdad and Mum glanced at me secretly. I became uncomfortable but pretended to be composed because my son was in front of me. No, baby. I didn't leave you. Never will I do that. Mommy just went to work for a while. I convinced him. He pouted and continued eating his food. I looked at Mom and Dad and they had the same expression on their faces. So as soon as Aciel left the dining room to play, I tried explaining it all to them. What do you mean you're not going to work again? Isn't finding a job difficult? Why did you leave now? I'll try to find another one, Mom. I want to be on Aciel's side while he's growing up. I reasoned out. Mom shook his head with disappointment and it hurt me a bit inside. I'll tell them at the right time. I know they would understand me, knowing that they also have wolf blood. It's just that I'm afraid that they would insist on letting Ace know about Aciel. While I still have the time, I took him on the playground since I want to make it up with Aciel. I'm happy to be with my son, but I also can't help but get hurt. I can still remember Ace's face when I left him in the castle. He offered me to be his Luna, something that I didn't expect. I want to feel the joy because he confessed his feelings, but all I felt was fear. Mommy, where did you go while you were away? Aciel asked while sitting on the swing. Mommy went to work. Where, Mommy? Is it far? I smiled because of his curiosity. I nodded. Yes, baby, so far, I said. He looked at me and I saw his blank eyes. It sent shivers down my skin because that's exactly how his father's cold eyes would look like. Where did you live? Mommy lived in a castle. His eyes got bigger. Hearing the word castle interests him because of watching cartoons and movies. Really, Mommy? What does it look like? I smirked and came to him. I brushed his hair with my fingers. It's enchanting. The walls are high. The garden is wide. The rooms are dark. I said with a tone that will excite him. I saw his face get more interested. His eyes gleamed with so much curiosity. And there's forest around the castle, I added. There's woods and the trees are high. Suddenly I remembered the time I was out in the woods. There's bad wolves who captured Mommy, I said with a faint voice. His smile faded as well. And there's good wolves who saved me. Ace's wolf flashed into my mind. His soft fur and his eyes, that unforgettable moment that I'll never forget. There's good and bad wolves, Mommy. It seems like I woke up from my own daydream. I didn't want to open up these things to him, but I couldn't stop myself. Yes, baby, there's good and bad wolves. Did you said thank you to the good wolves, Mommy? My lips parted. I nodded slowly. The kiss that night. Yes, baby. All I could say. I want to live in a castle, Mommy. My smile faded. I know my son is just blurting this out of excitement. But thinking about it, it's not impossible. He's the son of an alpha. But the way I saw Ace suffer because of being the son of the leaders of their pack, I can't seem to think how my son would suffer the same way as his father did. I laughed raw and hugged my son. Don't you want to live with Mommy? And with you, Grandma and Grandpa, I said. Mommy, you go with me, he innocently said. I smiled. Mommy will always be with you. It hurts for me to pretend that everything is all right. It hurts me knowing his father's real nature and character. My son wanted things that for him are just fairy tales and fiction when in fact all of it exists in his father's world, the world that some don't know. It may be a privilege for me to have a glimpse of his world, but I won't deny that it left me a huge scar as well. Being with him for that short period of time, serving him is like a mirage. It's a dream that's far out of reach, and it's a nightmare that I want to wake up to. Mommy will be back okay? Behave while Mommy's gone. I told my son. He nodded. Yes, Mommy. I smiled and kissed him in the forehead. I left him playing with his toys in front of the fireplace, and I proceeded to my stepmother and stepfather's direction. They're at the lanai sipping their tea. Early again, Mom said to me. I smiled lightly, and the feeling of shame came again. I don't know. I couldn't face them after coming back here again. I don't want to be a burden to them, so I took the job in the castle. Yet here I am again. Yes, Mom, please keep an eye on us while I'm gone. I'll try and look for a job, I said. I saw her raise a brow while putting down her teacup. Again? I shrugged and shifted on my seat. I just smiled and snuggled both of them. Thank you, I'll be back soon. And so the rest of the day, just like a déjà vu, I look for a job in the whole city, hoping that I'll find one. Please, I'm begging you, I need to work. I have a child. I begged the manager of the restaurant. My apology, miss, but we have enough workers here, he replied. My shoulders fell in disappointment. I can't count how many restaurants and any other prospect works I applied to for today. Some are even disgusted to take my resume. That's just to say they are not interested at all. It's already afternoon. I didn't even have my lunch today because of my eagerness to find a job. Yet here I am, sitting on the bench in front of the calm river, trying to contemplate things and convincing myself that everything is making sense. Feck this! Feck you, Ace Cunningham! This is all your fault! I screamed when I ran out of reasons to understand all this situation. Damn you, don't try and show your face to me, Ugh. I pinched the air due to anger and frustration. And then I realized that I'm slowly losing my mind from all that's happening. I shook my head to wake up from this insanity. No, you're just hungry and tired, Ashina. Calm. I inhaled the fresh air in my lungs. The fuck down. I stood up harshly and started to walk again so I could look for another place to apply. While walking, I tried so hard not to think how Ace did me so dirty and how I am suffering at this point because of him. But come afternoon and still I wasn't able to find work. I already told you, miss, we don't need a waitress. Hey, what the F feck? I ordered it 1 hour ago. Where the hell is it? One customer shouted. I look at the manager with my bored eyes. I'm burning with so much anger, but my outside facade just looks so tired. The manager may have felt ashamed by what just happened. She's busted. She for sure is lying, but I'm not going to pursue it anymore. I hate to see her lying face, and her acting that sucks. I smiled fake and got my resume from her hands. Can you tell the man who ordered you to shoe me that I'll kill him once I see him? The woman's lashes flapped because of her continuous blinking. She looked stunned and shocked by what I just uttered. Thank you so much. I smiled and went away. I gritted my teeth and rolled my eyes when I turned my back on her. I touched my head because it's pulsing due to pain. I sighed heavily and my limbs are weakening because of everything. Full of sweat, I leaned to the pickup car that's parked on the pathway. I'm panting and out of energy. My legs are slowly getting numb and my vision is starting to spin. Oh no. No. This is not the right time to pass out, Ashina. The next opening of my eyes, the first thing that I saw was the cove light on the white ceiling. At the center was this massive chandelier, and the smell that captured my nose was enough to wake my senses. I sat up and saw that I'm on a king-size bed. On top of my body is the fluffy and thick comforter. The scene in front of me stunned me. The dark town that's being lit with so many lights, and from this high, it looks like little fairy lights. I'm like in a hotel or something. You're awake, the deep voice uttered. I didn't look, nor turned my head to see who spoke, because to be honest, there's no need for me to do that, because I perfectly know who it was. I immediately removed the comforter on top of me and got up on the side of the bed. My clothes are intact, and it looks like nothing that seems to make me mad happened, but still. Where are you going? I gritted my teeth when I lifted my eyes on him. Days of not seeing him, yet it seems like something from his look had already changed. He looks way matured, maybe because of the stubble that had grown in his face, or his hair that became longer. There's food on the round table behind him. I was about to answer him, but after contemplating, I realized that my silence will be much better than anything else in this world. I passed by him, but he grabbed me by the wrist. My anger boiled more, and I harshly shrugged his hands. "Don't. Fecking, lay your hands on me," I said with so much conviction. I was hoping that he would read the room. I'm fuming mad, but I'm just keeping it all inside of me for the sake of my own sanity. His eyes fixed on me when I did that. His jaw clenched hard, and I can see how much he's trying to stay calm. I breathed heavily and turned my back again. But in 1 second, he grabbed me again and pinned me to the wall. I was out of bound. I wasn't able to think straight when his lips harshly claimed mine. I whimpered. Both of his arms are in my wrist, and when his right hand went to my waist, that's when I had the chance to get away. I pushed him lightly, and in a swift of seconds, I slapped his face with all my might. The whole room was rained by the sound of my palm meeting his bare skin. Due to so much pressure, his face turned to the side and his mouth was left open. "Fuck you!" I screamed in his face. Tears slowly fell on my cheeks. My lips are trembling, as well as my hands that turned numb because of what I just did. "Ashina," he called out. "So that's it? You think I'm just a toy you can play around, huh? You think I'm sort of an animal you can make fun of? Why? Do I look that easy to you, huh? Tell me." His bloodshot eyes spoke so much emotion that I couldn't fathom. He tried to touch me again, but before he could, I shrugged his hands again. I sobbed lightly. I was so dumb to trust you that for once you've been true to me." "I am true to you." "No, you're not," I barked back. "You've been true to me. That's why you're the reason for my sufferings, huh?" I almost blurted out my son, but to my relief, I stopped myself. I can't mention our child at this point. He doesn't deserve to know. Feck, yes, that's why I admitted all to you that day. I'm guilty as heck from all those things I did to you. But like what I said, I'm wrong, all right? I have no other excuses but to admit that I've been so immature and make your life a living hell, he explained with deep emotion. I shook my head while hearing him. "But that's before," he said with a pleading voice. "Ashina, I may be a monster, but never did I lie to you." He bit his lips and sighed before he bowed down. I focused on suppressing my sobs while looking at him. In this life, there are many kinds of love. A love that's pure, a love that hates, a love that fades away, a love that's easy, a love that's complicated. My love for him is something that couldn't be fathomed by words. I just knew I loved him, but I also know where I should put my limits. He sighed heavily, and when he looked at me, his eyes were bloodshot. I was so sure that it's because of tears, and based on the control he's showing, he's having a hard time suppressing it. "All right. I wouldn't justify any of my wrongdoings. I treated you badly and unfairly, and by that I understand if you see me undeserving of you," he started. He looked me straight in the eye. The eyes that mirror our son sent shivers down my spine. "But I'm not going to take back what I told you, Ashina. I'll make you my Luna, and I'll win you at all cost." "Win me? There's no need to win me, Ace. Quit and pretend that you don't know me. Pretend that I didn't exist in your life, and I will certainly do the same." He bit his lips and looked up. He's out of patience. So unusual for an alpha to look like this. Well, he's always out of patience, but you'll barely see him holding his patience. "All right. I've sinned, all right. I know. I should be understanding you, but I will still do what I want." He shot his brows up. I rolled my eyes and pushed him. I was about to leave again, but he pinned me back to the wall. My nose flared in anger. "I'm going home," I said with authority. His lips protruded. "You need to eat first." My eyes went into the food that served on the table. My stomach grumbled, and I salivated just by seeing it, but my pride says otherwise. "Eat it yourself." I shrugged his hands. He sighed harshly. "Don't be so fucking difficult." Seems like his endurance of patience is not unlimited because he dragged me by the wrist and made me sit in the bed. I can't do anything but to just follow because of how much strength he has. "You'll eat and I'll take you back home." I spaced out for some seconds before that processed inside my head. "What? I'll go home by myself," I exclaimed. "I'll not let you see our son." "No," I shouted inside my head. He eyed me with a gritted jaw while holding the utensils and setting the table for me. "What's wrong with me taking you home? I know you're mad, all right, but let me do all these gestures to you, especially now that you're here because it's my fault." I pursed my lips and still couldn't focus. He's not allowed to see my son. He's not supposed to. "I don't care. Just don't take me home. I can go home alone." He was about to say something again, but I covered his mouth with my palm. He was a bit stunned, but later, I felt his lips move and saw that he's slightly smiling. He held my hand and gently put it down. I couldn't think straight when my eyes met his. I thought of what he'll gonna do, and he just kissed the back of my palm, slightly smelling it. I pulled my hand back and started to touch the food in front of me after feeling that awkward air between us. Now, he's gonna think I'm easy? He's gonna think I'm so weak when it comes to him? Ha! I still couldn't forget about what he did. He still has a lot to prove, and he still needs to gain my trust. Wait, am I supposed to let my doors open? When I went home that night, I already embedded in my head that he did me wrong, so it's just right to just forget about him and all that. But now, after just what he said, I've opened up my doors again without me realizing. Wow. Just wow. It's not about your conditions, Ace. Remember, you did me wrong. I am supposed to be the one laying conditions here, I said while eating vigorously. Whatever you say, my lady. I stopped chewing and eyed him. He has this wicked smile. I just raised my brows on him. Take note, you're not in your castle. No one will bow down to you, serve you, or wash your feet. Don't be so full of yourself, I said again. This food is nice, by the way. Why aren't you eating? I asked while my mouth was full of food. I was so focused on eating that I didn't notice he didn't reply to my question. I just remembered his presence beside me when he helped me wipe the residue of soup that I ate. I stopped and looked at his face. Right, he's here. I am so damn hungry. Eat slowly, he uttered softly and continued wiping the side of my lips. I don't know why I'm suddenly stuck by this emotional shit when I look at his face with an unreadable expression. I saw him look in my eyes as well and smiled lightly. I'm sorry if you have to go through all this because of me, he started. Since that night you left the castle and declined me, I wasn't able to continue a day, so I locked myself in my room to ease it all. I wouldn't entertain any concerns either about my pack or anything usual, so I wasn't able to tell Lucas to work on this part. You shouldn't have suffered looking for work. My lips parted. Ace, the Alpha, is apologizing? Is it the end of the world already? You know what's funny? His hands traveled to my hand and played with it. Years ago, you were throwing yourself at me, and now I'm the one who's head over heels with you. He smirked, but with a hint of sadness. I heard howling. Was that you? I asked. He eyed me for seconds and removed it immediately. He nodded lightly like he's ashamed to admit that. My heart weakened seeing that side of him. The weak and ashamed Ace Cunningham is a punch in the moon. What did you do to me? He chuckled lightly. I know I'm undeserving of you. You maybe can't process it still, my life, my being, and my wolf, but I am serious about what I said. I'll prove myself to you. And thank you for the chance you're giving me. Hey, who said I've given you a chance already? I don't remember giving you one. I raised a brow. He cocked his head and kissed the back of my palm again. Aren't this a chance already? I rolled my eyes. This man-wolf. In fact, you have to be grateful. Courting ain't a thing in my world. Wow, thank you, I exclaimed sarcastically. He shrugged his shoulders confidently. Yeah, every lady would beg to be my Luna. This conceited man. Why? Did Olva beg to be your Luna as well? I fired back. He stopped. Now you're affected. Whatever it is that you know about Olva, stop all right. I don't care about that wench. He let go of my hand, and he stood up, turning his back on me. I don't know why I got so happy on how he responded to that, and him calling her names. Well, now that you're saying that, fuck it. I might be undeserving of you, but you're the only one I deserve. He uttered while facing the view of the town. I chuckled silently, hiding the wicked smile on my face. I might have feelings for him, but that's not how easy things should be. At this point, even though I want him, it's not myself I should be thinking. It's our son that's at risk. His world is not easy. This love will never be easy. Ashina, table 5. Marina whispered to me, my coworker in this restaurant that I'm currently working at. I eyed her, not sure if she uttered her words right. That's not the phase that's assigned for me. She looked at me with almost begging eyes. Please, I really need to finish this before that old hag sees this. She's talking about the plates she needs to clean because of a wrong order. All right, I said. Thank you, she smiled sweetly. I chuckled as a response. I reached the menu before going out. A man in a corporation is sitting on that table. I can see his back from here. When I arrived at his table, I handed out the menu. I had a view of his face before I greeted him. "Good evening, sir. Here's our menu." His bored eyes bore into me. I had a complete view of his face, a pale skin like me and a lean composure of the body. The bridge of his nose is a bit crooked and his eyes are pitch black. I thought he would say something, but he put his attention completely on the menu. I was about to leave him for a moment so that he'll have his time to choose from the menu, but he spoke. "You're new here?" he asked. My lips parted. Yes, sir." He glanced at me, slightly scowling. "That explains why." I hummed confusedly and without thinking that much. The side of his lips rose before he closed the menu. "Ribeye, rare as always. Remove the greens. Give me a glass of Chateau as well," he said. I hurriedly listed down his order before I got the menu on his table, slightly nervous because I feel like I'm not doing things right. "That's my usual order," he uttered. I stared at him and pursed my lips. I nodded and removed my gaze at him. I saw how he cocked his head on the side and squinted his eyes like he was about to say something. "I told you so that you won't ask the next time," he added. I nodded. "All right, sir." He must be a regular customer here and he has his usual menu, but since I'm new here, I'm not aware of that. "All right, thank you, Ashina." I lifted my head because I was a bit startled when he spoke my name. His white teeth peaked when his lips cracked a smirk. "Your pin." He pointed my name pin on my shirt. Oh. I chuckled raw and didn't say anything. I just left hurriedly because I feel a bit awkward being around him. His presence gives a vibe of someone who likes to mock people. And those are the last kind of people I want to encounter. I had enough of Ace for goddamn sake. "Bye, Marina." I waved at her after our closing time. "See you tomorrow, Ashina," she replied. I smiled at her, and the man who held her hand before they walked away must be his boyfriend. I embraced myself because of the cold. I can't wait to be home. My son is probably waiting for me. "Where are you going?" I held my mouth to stop my scream because of how shocked I was. I saw Ace leaning on his car wearing his trench coat and combat boots, attire that I don't usually see in him. What are you doing here? Are you planning to kill me or what?" I sneered at him. His bored eyes rolled before he stood and walked into my direction. "If I had to plan to kill you, I would have done it a long time ago. Isn't it obvious? I'm picking you up," he shrugged. "How did you even know I'm working here? Stalker." I glared at him. His bored eyes are making me even angrier. "Will you get inside or what?" My lips parted in offended amusement. "Wow. Do I look like I have a plan to get inside that fecking car? Stop being so controlling. You're not my boss anymore," I said with conviction. He sighed heavily. He uttered words while he undressed himself. I watched him confused. "Fuck this chivalry," he whispered. "And this," he held the coat. "The warmth is killing me. Fuck Lucas and his goddamn ideas." I bit my lips in realization. For that short period of time, I summarized the reason for all this and his words. He scratched his eyebrows and moved his jaw in a harsh way. He can't even look me straight in the eye. He's standing in front of me, dashing with his white shirt and jeans. He's not cold, of course, because a wolf man like him would prepare the cold rather than the warmth. "What did you say?" I asked again, even though I already know what this is all about. He glanced at me. "Lucas said this is courting shit and women like men who wait for them and pick them at their work, dashing in a thick coat and boots," he said blandly. "I guess you're not included in that group of women he's talking about," he added. "What?" I chuckled ridiculously. "Remind me to kill him when I go back." He rolled his eyes again. That's when I wasn't able to stop my laughter. I covered my mouth with my hand and bowed my head to hide my laughter. I don't know what animals are inside my stomach to feel this high. Is this man even real? Are we even real? Because this whole situation felt like complete fiction. My laughter only stopped when I felt my shoulder weighted. I lifted my head and saw that he put his trench coat on me. "You look cold, though," he uttered. My lips are in thin line and my eyes blinked repeatedly. I didn't know how to react. A crack of smile showed in his lips while he fixed the coat on my body. "Lucas suggested this on purpose, huh?" My eyes went oh, and my first instinct was to slap his chest. He laughed so freely that my heart felt so calm while watching him. He looks genuinely happy that it hurts me. "I'm going home now. I turned my back to him. Of course, his hands are quick to snatch me back. "Hey, please just let me take you home. It's cold and my car would be much more convenient for you," he said. "It's fine. I prefer to walk," I said and turned my back again. I continued walking. He's right. It is really convenient for me, but it's him. He might put meaning into things that I'm going to agree with, and that's not what it should be. I thought he finally surrendered and just let me walk. My brows met, and my head can't stop thinking of glancing back at him to see if he's still standing there. But to my surprise, I saw him following me. My eyes widened as I glared at him at the same time. "What? You want to walk? Then I'll walk with you," he said. This is not okay. My heart should not be this weak when it comes to him. I don't know how I survived that night. Of course, I don't want him to know where I'm living to avoid any unplanned encounter between him and my son. I sneaked into someone's house to pretend that I'm home already. Gladly, he left right away. That will not happen again. I will do anything just to avoid those kinds of circumstances. He should not know about our son. "Mommy, you're leaving? It's still early. My son told me as soon as he woke up. It's still dawn. The sun hasn't fully risen yet. I thought of this last night. Even though Ace doesn't know where my house is, it's still important to be extra vigilant and careful. That man has a supernatural whatever in his body. I'm nobody else. So this is the least thing that I can do. Yes, baby, Mommy will go to work." I went to our bed and kissed his temple. He hugged me right away, still looking so sleepy. I chuckled and said some words that will convince him so that he will not be sulky with my leaving. Gladly, my son is well raised and he understands me. The mist is visible while I walk into the cold, empty street. I busied myself with thoughts that couldn't be summed up. I have to think about a solution as soon as possible, or else he'll get to know about ACL. In the middle of the empty road, strangely I sensed something. It's like my nose had been embraced with that familiar scent, and heat started to spread from my cheeks down to my neck. I was so confused that I didn't notice the man standing in the middle of the road. He's literally standing in front of the house that I've snuck in last night. "Oh my." "Ace," I whispered to myself. His cold eyes piercing into my soul made my legs tremble. I almost didn't want to continue my steps just so our distance wouldn't meet. What more else can I do? I pursed my lips when I was a meter away from him. I breathed and I wanted to catch the warmth because my hands were shaking. Fuck, what should I do? "Good job," he said sarcastically. I lift my head to see him. His expression didn't even change. Half of my conscience feels guilty, but half of it is saying that it's just right for him and he deserves it. I was so out of my mind, these thoughts inside my head couldn't utter any words, so when things like this happen, this is the best decision to do. "Where are you going?" he asked when I walked past him. Well, I thought I could escape from him. Phew. I rolled my eyes, feeling how tight his hold onto my arm is. What can I even do with this man-wolf? "Don't roll your eyes on me, woman," he scowled. Just when he said that, I rolled my eyes before looking at him. I shrugged his hands and looked at him indifferently. "What?" I asked. He glided his tongue at the inside of his cheeks before he barked at me. "How dare you lie to me? You think I wouldn't know?" He's angry, and for some reason, I'm having the urge to laugh at him. Like his annoyance gives me a different satisfaction. "I know you would know. You think I'm that easy?" I raised a brow. I saw how his eyes widened a bit, maybe because he's stunned by my answer. "Now get out of the way because I have more important matters to attend to." That's what I said before I bump into his shoulders and pass by him. I heard him utter different curses. I kept on walking, and gladly, he just vanished and didn't decide to pursue me. That's great, because I don't think I have the guts to lie to him today. It's better to act indifferent rather than lie to him. While my thoughts are crowding inside my head, when I arrived at the restaurant, I was so surprised to see the man-wolf standing just meters away from the main door. My jaw dropped, and I couldn't fathom the shock that I'm feeling. Damn it, I forgot that he's capable of some sorcery shit. I held on to the strap of my bag tightly, composing myself, before I rolled my eyes again and continued walking. I ignored him. I just ignored him. "Yeah, right, act as if I'm the one at fault here," I heard him say. I ignored him and just continued entering the restaurant. I don't know where he went. Maybe he came back to the castle or whatever. I'm just pacified that he's not here to roam around and bother me while working. I don't want to lose this job again. I have a child to support. I'm on full duty today. I'm trying to push myself as much as I'm available because I'm planning to finish that last unit in my university so that I can finally finish college and get a much better job. Currently, I just don't know when and how, but I'll figure it all out, for sure. Later that night, when the restaurant was nearing closing time, I decided to do some tasks since there's no customers and I could freely do my task. Ashina, can you throw the garbage outside, please? I'm not yet done with the tables. My coworker asked for my favor. Sure, I smiled. So that's what I did. I went to the waste area and got 2 bags of garbage. Trucks pick this up every midnight, so this is an everyday task. When I went out of the door, I felt the cold breeze. Geez, I forgot my coat, I said because I'm still in my uniform. I almost shouted when someone snatched the bags from me, and I stopped walking. Ace effortlessly put it in the dumpster. He didn't even say any word. He walked in the same direction I saw him this morning. I stared at him, and I saw him glanced at me, but he removed it right away, like he's avoiding my eyes because he's still annoyed or something. My lips parted. No way. Don't tell me he stayed there since this morning? No. He might have gone home, right? Without a word, I sighed heavily. I rushed inside the restaurant and finished all my chores before I fixed myself so I could finally go out. There, I saw him again with his head bowed. Both of his hands are on the pocket of his pants, and his foot is playing with his foot. I sighed heavily again. Seeing him there makes my heart ache. I don't know. I'm just so confused. When I'm a meter away from him, I see how he eyes me from his peripheral view. He didn't fully look at me. He stood properly first before he faced me fully. You stayed here since morning? I asked coldly. He eyes me with his deep almond eyes. I was waiting for him to answer, but he just removed his eyes on me before saying a word that's not connected with my question. Woke's done? His eyes had a hint of tiredness. I can feel that he really stayed here since morning. And I hate it. I hate that it's making me feel guilty. Yes, I'm going home. You should too. I answered. His eyes went into the ground. He sighed heavily and nodded before he stepped forward. I wasn't able to move, especially when he reached for my hands. All he did was to breathe out a heavy sigh before he said something. Can you join me for a walk? He asked. I looked straight in his eyes. I badly wanted to run my fingers to his soft hair. Something in him bothers me. Like, he's not the usual Ace. Just a couple of minutes, please? He muttered softly. It's my time to sigh. I hate it. I hate that I'm not his slave yet. I'm slave of my damn heart.